You're sitting in your car. Maybe you got pulled over for a broken taillight. Maybe you were parked in a lot minding your own business. A police officer walks up, asks you a couple of questions, and then, without asking, without explaining, they start looking through your car, opening your glove box, checking your back seat, maybe even popping your trunk. And you're sitting there thinking, wait, can they actually do that? Did I just let that happen? Was any of that even legal? Today, we are breaking all of that down. Plain English, real scenarios, exactly what the law says, what you can say, and what you should never do. Before we go any further, and this is important, everything in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. All right, let's get into it. So the big question, can police search your car without your permission? The short answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no. And the difference matters enormously. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures. That is your foundational right. Your car, your belongings, your personal space, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. The government cannot just dig through your stuff without justification. That's the baseline. But here's where it gets more complicated and where most people get confused. There are several legal exceptions that allow officers to search your vehicle without your consent and without a warrant. And knowing these exceptions is the key to understanding whether what happened to you was legal or not. The first and most common exception is called probable cause. If an officer has probable cause, meaning they have a reasonable belief based on specific facts and circumstances that your vehicle contains evidence of a crime, they can search it without asking you and without a warrant. This is not just a gut feeling. It has to be based on something concrete. Now here's something critical. If an officer claims they smelled something or saw something as the reason for searching your car, you need to remember that. Write it down the moment you can. Because if that claim turns out to be false or exaggerated, your attorney can challenge the search later. Evidence found during an illegal search can potentially be thrown out of court entirely under what's called the exclusionary rule. The second exception is your consent. And this one is where so many people unintentionally give up their rights without even realizing it. If an officer asks, "Do you mind if I take a look in your car?" and you say, "Sure, go ahead," you have just legally consented to that search. You did it voluntarily, and now everything they find is fair game. Here is what you need to understand. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to calmly, respectfully decline a search. Saying no to a search is not illegal. It is not obstruction. It is not suspicious behavior. It is your constitutional right. The words are simple. You look at the officer and you say, "Officer, I don't consent to searches." That's it. Say it calmly. Say it once. Don't argue. Don't explain yourself. Just clearly state that you do not consent. Now, and this is important, if the officer searches anyway, do not physically resist. Do not try to stop them with your hands or your body. That situation can escalate very quickly and put you in danger. The third exception is what's called a search incident to arrest. If you are being lawfully arrested, officers can search your person and the area immediately around you. So if you get arrested, yes, they can look through certain areas of the vehicle connected to that arrest. The fourth exception is what's known as an inventory search. If your car gets impounded, police are allowed to inventory, meaning document the contents of your vehicle. This is done as a standard procedure, and courts have generally upheld these searches even without a warrant. And the fifth major exception is exigent circumstances. If there is an emergency, if officers believe evidence is about to be destroyed or someone is in immediate danger, they may be permitted to act without waiting for a warrant. So now let's bring this back to real life. You're pulled over. The officer starts asking questions. Maybe they ask where you're headed, what you've been doing, whether you've had anything to drink. Be polite, be calm, but you are generally not required to answer questions beyond identifying yourself, and even that varies by state. In most states, if you are driving, you are required to provide your license, registration, and proof of insurance. Beyond that, you have the right to remain silent. Do not lie to police. That can be a crime, but staying silent is absolutely your right. You can say, "Officer, I'd like to remain silent," and then stay silent. If they ask to search your car, you say, "Officer, I don't consent to searches." Do not reach for anything they haven't asked for. Keep your hands visible. Stay calm. Speak in a steady, respectful voice. Look, knowing your rights isn't about being difficult or anti-law enforcement. Most officers are professionals doing a tough job. Knowing your rights is about protecting yourself in the moments when things go wrong. It's about making sure that if a mistake is made, or worse, if someone abuses their authority, you have done everything you can to protect yourself legally. Know your rights, and I'll see you in the next one.